he doesn't have that pain, right? Making decent money, he's building, and he's got his S&P 500 index funds, fine, right? I'm not going to try to change the investments, right? So he's building, but he hasn't had that moment yet where he messed up, right? He hasn't had that moment when he's lost 40, 60%, and maybe he has to tell his wife, yeah, we don't have $300,000 in the investment account. We have 120, right? Unfortunately, that's one of the reasons why people come in is after they've already made the big mistake and they want to make sure they have a process, a plan, somebody to partner with that's going to help them from that big mistake. I'm here when people are ready, right? I'm not going to force it. You can't make somebody do something they're not ready to, but hopefully you give them some gentle encouragement that, hey, we can probably get you to the finish line a little bit quicker together than by doing it yourself. And I'm probably a perfect example of that by like working out. I can go to the gym, I can do my 3 sets of 10, I'll go through my rotation, I'll feel really good about what I've done, but I'm going to get to my fitness goals quicker if I hire the personal trainer, if I do the group fitness class, if I remove the fresca from the house, you know, all of those things, you get to where you want to go a little bit quicker when you work with professionals that are kind of pulling you in the same direction. I think it's a lot easier to start than people realize. For the most part, us as the financial planners, we're doing all the heavy lifting for them. I mean, the commitment is really about 45 to 60 minutes in an initial call where we're, hey, let's get on a Zoom, let's do a screen share, let's grab these different documents. There's not going to be a lot of homework left after we spend an hour or so together. Anything that you can do to start is a good thing. We're not asking you to do everything today. I know people are busy and it's really easy to get overwhelmed with their schedule. And I know, with our 3 kids, it's trying to coordinate 6 different athletic activities all the time while trying to do my own stuff. I get that we all have a lot on our calendar, but an hour for an initial meeting, and maybe we need 2 or 3 micro meetings of 15 minutes each to at least get you started and on the right healthy track. I think there is a lot of fear about what somebody is going to say once you get financially naked. And I think that keeps a lot of people on the sidelines. And we consistently get the feedback is, wow, this wasn't nearly as bad as I thought it was going to be. This was way different than I thought it was going to be. I feel so much better now that I told you this, because we don't scold people. We don't shame people. We're not going to tell them that you shouldn't own crypto, um, or whatever the case might be, right? We're encouragers and motivators. We're not going to go Bob Knight on you. We're, more of the Zen master to coach and teach and help encourage you. I think, both Jeff and myself, we both have kind of the heart of a teacher. Both of my parents were teachers, and I think we're generally more of like the nurturing guidance type as opposed to, the Bob Knight. There is shame around money and finances, right? I mean, nobody wants to tell somebody that they have $20,000 in credit card debt, or, what, I haven't told people this, but I still owe $100,000 on the student loans. Well, nothing's going to change until you make a plan to take care of it. And we always tell people there's a reason why the rear view mirror is the smallest and the windshield's the biggest, right? We're gonna create that plan to go forward. We're not going to worry about necessarily how we got to this point, or we're just going to make a plan together to go forward and slowly but surely eat away at whatever it is that's causing you shame, guilt, anxiety, and try to march you towards, financial confidence. A little bit better, right? Just like 1%, just moving at 1%. But it is hard to get people off the sidelines because there's a lot of different emotions involved. We talked about it before. So much of the job is financial psychologist, and therapist, as opposed to just the math behind the numbers of making, the credit card payment go away or whatever the case might be. He doesn't have that pain, right? Making decent money, he's building, and he's got his S&P 500 index funds, fine, right? I'm not going to try to change the investments, right? So he's building, but he hasn't had that moment yet where he messed up, right? He hasn't had that moment when he's lost 40, 60%, and maybe he has to tell his wife, yeah, we don't have $300,000 in the investment account. We have 120, right? Unfortunately, that's one of the reasons why people come in is after they've already made the big mistake, and they want to make sure that they have a process, a plan, somebody to partner with that's going to help them from that big mistake, or they haven't reached that point of complexity, whether it's RSUs, ISOs, the things that make your head spin, or it's having that really bad moment when they find out that they've triggered the alternative minimum tax. Like that's the horrific one where people are like, I'm no longer doing this myself. I'm contacting a CPA, I'm contacting a CFP. It's better to meet with someone in advance before the pain is so overwhelming that you have no choice but to reach out.